Your Samsung phone is far more powerful than you think, and One UI 8.5 proves it. Hidden beneath the surface are features that can completely transform how your phone looks and behaves. Most users will never find these changes, but once you do, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Today, we uncover why One UI 8.5 quietly becomes Samsung's most addictive update yet. Before watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so you can get notified on daily tech updates. Welcome back to Tech Gadget, and today we're talking about One UI 8.5, an update that doesn't scream for attention but completely redefines the Samsung experience once you start using it. This isn't just another visual refresh or performance patch. One UI 8.5 is about control, personality, and freedom, giving users the ability to shape their phone exactly the way they want. And the deeper you explore, the more impressive it becomes. To truly understand the magnitude of what Samsung has achieved with this iteration, we have to shift our perspective on what a software update is supposed to be. For years, the industry standard has been the feature dump. Companies would release annual updates packed with flashy new apps, gimmicky camera modes that no one uses after a week, and interface overhauls that confuse long-time users just for the sake of change. It was a cycle of disruption designed to generate headlines rather than improve daily life. One UI 8.5 breaks this cycle entirely. It represents a philosophical pivot from showing off capability to enhancing usability. It is an update built on the premise that the best technology is the kind that disappears into the background, allowing your life to take center stage. When you first boot up your device after installing One UI 8.5, you might not be greeted by a parade of confetti or a tutorial video explaining 10 new things you didn't ask for. Instead, you are greeted by a sense of familiarity that feels strangely refined. Everything is where you expect it to be, yet everything feels slightly better. The air seems clearer, the responses seem sharper, and the entire system exudes a calm confidence that was missing before. This is the hallmark of mature software design. It is the difference between a house that is constantly under renovation and a home that has been perfectly tailored to its inhabitants. Samsung has spent countless hours observing how real people interact with their devices, analyzing the friction points that cause stress throughout the day, and systematically eliminating them. The result is an operating system that feels less like a tool you have to operate, and more like a companion that anticipates your needs. Let's dive deep into the first area, where this transformation is immediately palpable: the Quick Settings panel. In previous versions of Android, and even earlier iterations of One UI, the Quick Settings panel was often a rigid grid of toggles. You could rearrange them, sure, but you were confined to a specific structure. The size of the tiles was fixed. The orientation of the sliders was non-negotiable. The media controls sat in a predetermined box that often took up too much space or not enough, depending on your preference. One UI 8.5 shatters these invisible walls. Samsung has introduced a level of fluidity to the control center that rivals desktop customization suites, yet keeps it intuitive enough for anyone to grasp instantly. You are no longer limited to basic tile rearranging. You can now resize individual toggles to suit your priority list. If you use Wi-Fi and Bluetooth constantly, but rarely touch mobile data, you can make the connectivity tiles larger for easier tapping and shrink the data toggle to a compact icon. This isn't just cosmetic, it's ergonomic. It reduces the cognitive load required to navigate your settings. Your eyes don't have to scan a uniform grid. They go straight to the controls that matter most to you, sized exactly how your thumb expects them to be. Furthermore, the brightness and volume sliders have been re-engineered for precision. In the past, adjusting brightness often felt like a binary choice: too dim or too bright. One UI 8.5 introduces adaptive sensitivity to these sliders. The system learns your usage patterns. If you tend to make small, granular adjustments to your brightness throughout the day to match changing lighting conditions, the slider becomes more sensitive in those mid-ranges, allowing for fine-tuned control. Conversely, if you are someone who typically cranks the volume to the maximum for music or media consumption, the slider allocates more range to the upper end, making it easier to hit those high levels without overshooting. Even the haptic feedback has been meticulously tuned. Each toggle now emits a crisp, subtle click that feels satisfying without being intrusive. It provides tactile confirmation that your command has been registered, reinforcing the connection between your finger and the software. The background of the panel itself has also received a visual upgrade. It now utilizes a refined frosted glass effect with dynamic blur that shifts in real time based on your current wallpaper. This makes the panel feel like it is an organic part of your screen, floating just above your content, rather than a flat, opaque layer slapped on top. It creates a sense of depth and continuity that makes the entire interface feel more premium and cohesive. Moving beyond the control center, let's explore one of the most practical and liberating improvements found inside the Gallery app. For photographers, content creators, and even casual snap shooters, the fear of ruining a good photo during editing is a real psychological barrier. In the past, editing was often a linear process. You would apply a filter, crop the image, adjust the exposure, and if you decided halfway through that you didn't like the direction you were going, you were often stuck. You might have to undo multiple steps, risking the loss of other adjustments, or worse, you'd have to revert to the original file and start over, losing all your progress. One UI 8.5 eliminates this anxiety with the introduction of comprehensive edit history tracking. This feature transforms the editing experience from a risky gamble into a safe, creative playground. You can now experiment freely, apply an aggressive AI object removal tool, tweak the color grading to something wild, enhance the details to the maximum, and then, with a single tap, jump back to any previous step in your editing timeline. It works like a non-destructive layer system found in professional desktop software, but simplified for mobile use. This change fundamentally alters how users interact with their photos. It encourages experimentation. You are no longer afraid to try a crazy filter or a dramatic crop, because you know you can instantly revert if it doesn't work. For creators who demand perfection, this is a game changer. It allows for an iterative workflow where you can compare different versions of an edit side by side within the same session. You can see how the photo looked before you removed that distracting background object and decide if the removal looks natural or if it needs more work. The AI tools integrated into this workflow are also smarter. They don't just apply effects, they understand context. When you use the object removal tool, the algorithm analyzes the surrounding pixels with greater accuracy, filling in gaps with textures that match the lighting and perspective of the original scene. The enhancement tools don't just sharpen everything. They selectively enhance details in faces while keeping backgrounds soft, mimicking the depth of field of a professional lens. This level of sophistication, combined with the safety net of full edit history, makes the Gallery app in One UI 8.5 a legitimate post-processing studio in your pocket. It removes the friction between capturing a moment and perfecting it, allowing your creativity to flow without technical constraints. The lock screen, often the first thing you see when you wake up and the last thing you see before you sleep, has also undergone a significant evolution in One UI 8.5. Samsung has moved away from the static, one-size-fits-all lock screens of the past toward a dynamic, living interface that reflects your environment and your style. The centerpiece of this redesign is the adaptive clock. In previous versions, the clock was a standard font placed in a standard position, often clashing with busy wallpapers or getting lost in dark images. The new adaptive clock intelligently analyzes your wallpaper in real time. It adjusts its shape, weight, color, and spacing to ensure it is always legible and aesthetically pleasing. If your wallpaper is a bright, sunny beach scene, the clock might adopt a bold, white serif font with a slight shadow to pop against the blue sky. If you switch to a moody, dark abstract background at night, the clock seamlessly transitions to a thinner, minimalist sans serif font in a soft gray tone that blends harmoniously with the darkness. It never feels forced or out of place. It feels like the clock was designed specifically for that image. Adding to this atmospheric quality are the new weather-based visual effects. These are not the cheesy, cartoonish animations of old weather widgets. They are subtle, particle-based effects that bring the lock screen to life without overwhelming the design. If it is raining outside, faint, realistic raindrops might streak across your lock screen wallpaper, reacting to the tilt of your phone as you hold it. If it is a foggy morning, a gentle mist might roll across the bottom of the display. On a sunny day, soft rays of light might shift subtly as you move your device. These effects are rendered with such finesse that they add a layer of immersion and connection to the real world. They make your phone feel alive, aware of its surroundings, and responsive to the world outside your window. Yet, they remain unobtrusive. They do not distract from the time or your notifications. They simply add a layer of polish and personality that makes glancing at your phone a slightly more pleasant experience. It is these kinds of thoughtful details that separate a functional device from an emotional one. They remind you that there are humans behind the code who care about how the software makes you feel. For those who love to dig even deeper into customization, One UI 8.5 unlocks a new tier of personalization through advanced modules, particularly when paired with Samsung's own enhancement tools. The unlock animation, a moment you experience dozens, if not hundreds of times a day, has traditionally been a fixed system function. Swipe up, fingerprint scans, home screen appears. End of story. One UI 8.5 changes this mundane interaction into an expression of personality. You can now choose from a variety of unlock effects such as ripple, wave, slide, expand, or fade. But it goes beyond just picking a preset. You can fine-tune the animation speed, the intensity of the effect, and even the color accent of the transition. Imagine unlocking your phone and watching a soft ripple effect emanate from your fingerprint sensor, spreading across the screen like a stone dropped in a pond, revealing your home screen beneath the waves. Or perhaps you prefer a sleek, fast slide that feels urgent and efficient. These might sound like trivial changes, but consider the cumulative effect. If you unlock your phone 200 times a day, that is 200 moments of micro-delight or micro-annoyance. By giving you control over this interaction, Samsung turns a mechanical necessity into a personalized ritual. It adds character to your device, making it feel less like a mass-produced commodity and more like an extension of your identity. The home screen experience in One UI 8.5 finally delivers on the promise of true creative freedom that Android users have been craving for years. For a long time, app folders were rigid containers. You could put apps inside them, but the folder itself was a fixed square or rectangle with a standardized background. One UI 8.5 breaks these constraints by introducing fully resizable folders. You are no longer stuck with the default grid. You can stretch a folder to fill nearly the entire width of the screen, creating a panoramic dashboard for your most used apps. You can shrink a folder down to a tiny, compact icon to save space for widgets. The possibilities for layout are virtually endless. But the customization doesn't stop at size. You have complete control over the aesthetic of your folders. You can adjust the background color, choosing from a full spectrum of hues or sampling colors directly from your wallpaper to create a monochromatic theme. You can control the level of transparency, making your folders ghostly and ethereal or solid and bold. You can adjust the blur intensity of the background, creating a frosted glass look that lets your wallpaper peek through softly, or a sharp, clean look that stands out distinctly. This level of control allows users to create home screen layouts that were previously impossible. You can design a minimalistic setup where folders blend almost invisibly into the background, leaving only the app icons visible for a clean, clutter-free look. Or, you can go for a bold, expressive layout where colorful, oversized folders act as visual anchors, organizing your digital life into distinct, vibrant zones. This flexibility extends to the arrangement of apps within the folders as well. The grid system is more forgiving, allowing for asymmetrical arrangements that feel more organic. Combined with the ability to hide app labels or customize their fonts and colors, the home screen becomes a true canvas. It stops looking like a generic grid of icons and starts looking like a curated interface designed specifically for your brain and your workflow. It reduces visual clutter, which in turn reduces mental clutter. When your digital environment is organized in a way that makes sense to you, navigating it becomes effortless. You stop searching for apps and start flowing through your tasks. This is the ultimate goal of user interface design, to remove the friction between intention and action. Widgets and icons have also received meaningful upgrades that contribute to this cohesive ecosystem. In One UI 8.5, widget text size can now be adjusted independently of the widget's overall size. This is a small but crucial detail for accessibility and readability. If you have a large weather widget, but find the temperature text too small to read at a glance, you can now increase the font size without having to resize the entire widget and disrupt your layout. Similarly, app labels can be edited, renamed, and recolored. This might seem like a niche feature, but it has profound implications for organization. You can rename Settings to System or Gear to match your theme. You can code your social media apps to group them visually without putting them in a folder. You can hide labels entirely for a pure icon, grid aesthetic. These features empower users to clean up visual noise and create a home screen that is not only beautiful, but highly functional. It allows for a level of semantic organization where the way your apps look matches the way you think about them. What makes One UI 8.5 truly special, however, is not any single feature in isolation. It is the synergy between all these elements. The customizable quick settings complement the personalized lock screen. The flexible home screen folders harmonize with the adjustable widgets. The smooth animations tie everything together into a unified experience. It is a system where every part speaks the same design language. Customization feels deep but not overwhelming. Features feel powerful but accessible. Whether you are a power user who wants to tweak every pixel and animation curve, or a casual user who just wants a cleaner, faster phone, One UI 8.5 adapts effortlessly to your style. It does not force a specific workflow upon you. It does not say, "This is the right way to use your phone." Instead, it asks, "How do you want to use your phone?" and then provides the tools to make that happen. This shift in philosophy is revolutionary. It respects the user's intelligence and agency. It acknowledges that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to mobile computing because no two users are exactly alike. At its core, One UI 8.5 is about trust. Trust that the user knows what they want. Trust that the software can handle complex customizations without breaking. Trust that the AI features will help without hindering. This update proves that Samsung has listened to its community. It addresses the long-standing requests for more freedom while maintaining the stability and reliability that the brand is known for. It strikes a delicate balance between innovation and familiarity. It pushes the boundaries of what a mobile interface can be without alienating the millions of people who rely on their phones every day. The performance optimizations under the hood ensure that all this customization does not come at the cost of speed. The system remains snappy, responsive, and efficient. Battery life is preserved through intelligent management of background processes, ensuring that your personalized setup doesn't drain your power. The thermal management systems keep the device cool even during intensive customization sessions or heavy multitasking. The implications of One UI 8.5 extend beyond just the immediate user experience. It sets a new standard for the Android ecosystem. It challenges other manufacturers to step up their customization games. It shows that software can be both beautiful and functional, both powerful and simple. It demonstrates that an update does not need to be loud to be impactful. Sometimes, the most profound changes are the ones that happen quietly, in the background, improving your life in 1,000 tiny ways until one day you realize you can't imagine going back. One UI 8.5 is that kind of update. It is the update that grows on you. It is the update that makes you fall in love with your phone all over again, not because it does something new, but because it lets you be yourself. As we wrap up this deep dive, it is clear that One UI 8.5 is more than just a version number increment. It is a statement of intent from Samsung. It is a commitment to user-centric design, to long-term satisfaction, and to the idea that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. The hidden features we have explored today, the resizable quick settings, the non-destructive photo editing, the adaptive lock screen, the personalized unlock animations, and the limitless home screen customization, are just the tip of the iceberg. There are countless other refinements, tweaks, and optimizations waiting to be discovered by those who take the time to explore. But you don't need to be a tech expert to appreciate them. You just need to use your phone. And as you do, you will feel the difference. You will feel the smoothness, the responsiveness, the personal touch. You will realize that your Samsung phone is indeed far more powerful than you thought, and that power is now firmly in your hands. If you care about personalization, smooth performance, and thoughtful design, One UI 8.5 might be the most satisfying Samsung update yet. It invites you to take ownership of your device, to mold it into a tool that fits your life perfectly. So, I encourage you to dive in. Explore the settings. Play with the folders. Experiment with the lock screen. Make your phone truly yours. And let me know in the comments which feature impressed you the most. Was it the freedom of the quick settings? The creativity of the gallery editor? Or the beauty of the adaptive clock? Your experiences and insights help our community grow and learn together. Don't forget to like this video if you found this breakdown helpful, as it supports our mission to bring you clear, honest, and deep tech analysis. Subscribe to Tech Gadget and hit that notification bell so you never miss our daily tech updates. We are dedicated to keeping you informed about the changes that matter, explained in a way that makes sense. Thank you for spending this time with us. And remember, the future of technology is not just about faster chips or bigger screens, it's about better experiences. Stay curious, stay connected, and we will see you in the next video.